Many people died in the pit, but I cannot. Other people have died in the pit, but I cannot, I must not. Other friends have gone another way, but I cannot. Other dear people have made another decision, but I cannot. It doesn't mean I'm never going to be in a pit. It doesn't mean I'm never going to be in prison. It doesn't mean I'm never going to make a wrong move. But I want you to know, no matter how many wrong turns I make, I will never be a victim of the enemy. I will be a survivor. I'm going to get through it. You're going to get through it. Lift your hands and say, I'm a survivor. 9/11 had many thousands of victims. We hear about it all the time, the victims' memorial, the victims' memory. And it's wonderful, we should remember the victims. But do you know that there were many times that amount of survivors? But we don't hear as much about the survivors anymore. The media likes to play that game of just talking about the negative. They're just like Joseph's brothers. They're talking about the negative. They're talking about the victims. But the children of God, the kingdom of God, want to stand up and say, the victims are always going to be, and we reach for them all the time, but I will be a survivor. Leon Layson rebuilt his life after the Holocaust. Recently, the extraordinary man, Leon Layson, passed away at 83 years of age. Here is his true story of survival over hard times. Leon was 9 years old when Germany invaded Poland in 1939. His quiet life in Poland changed forever when he and his family were taken from their home and sent to a ghetto in Krakow, Poland. Leon survived as mass killings and deportations to concentration camps increased. 2 of his brothers were killed during the Holocaust. They were victims. Leon became the youngest of the workers that Schindler and industrialists saved by declaring them vital for his factory work. The work was tough. Schindler doubled Leon's rations because Leon was weak from hunger. This is a true story. Leon was so short that he had to stand on a box to work the machinery. 9 years old. After the war, Leon spent 3 years in a displaced persons camp in Germany. He moved to the U.S. in 1949 and served in the U.S. Army during the Korean War. He went on to receive a master's degree in education and worked as an industrial arts teacher at a Californian high school for 39 years before retiring. But after the 1993 movie Schindler's List revived interest in his story, Leon began public speaking across the U.S. and Canada. Leon was determined not to live in the past. He found ways to put his horrific wartime experiences behind him and build a new life for himself. In '97, he told the Portland, Oregon Press, the truth is, I do not live my life in the shadow of the Holocaust. I did not give my children a legacy of fear. I gave them a legacy of freedom. I am a survivor.
Praise God. Hallelujah. Yes.
Understand this, church. Nobody would have blamed him if he had given up and died. Right? He should have. By all human rights, he should not have lived to the ripe old age that he did. There are things that we have gone through in our life, and I'm not going to yell this, but I want to say it, and I want you to respond to it. There are things that you should have and had every right to give up hearing. There are things that all of us sitting today that very well could have destroyed us and should have, had destroyed other people. The enemy had done less than that and destroyed other people before. Joseph very well should have been killed in the pit or the prison by all rights. There was a devil saying, you should just give up. Like Job's friend said, just give up, let go. Don't trust God anymore. But I want you to know, there are some saints today that you need to stand up and say, I should have been killed. It should have taken me out. That last financial trial I went through should have broken my bank account. That last marital struggle I went through should have ended in divorce. That last upset that I went through in my life should have ended in suicide. It should have stressed me to the point and I could have walked away from the church. But I'm still standing. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. There are a couple of positive character traits of survivors. I'm going somewhere quickly. They make a conscious effort to put the past behind them and live happy lives. regardless of their past or current troubles. We got to move on. Move on. Don't stay in the pit. A lot of people get out of the pit, but their mind is still there. Get out of the pit. Lift yourself up. Pick up yourself by your bootstraps and move on. Make a conscious effort to move on. Don't live in the past. Survivors don't. They look to the future. Survivors make plans for the future. We got to focus on what God's going to do. They don't focus too much on their own troubles, but instead keep busy and help others in need. Whew. We've been talking about outreach. That ought to excite somebody. I'm not going to focus on my own pit. I'm going to lift somebody else out of theirs. I'm not just going to give all my attention just to my own problems. But God help me. Joseph said, I'm in jail. But if I can help these two men, if I can tell them what's going on, there'll be purpose in it. Survivors find meaningful reasons for their challenges and use them in positive ways. Don't stop working for the kingdom no matter if it's hard. Be busy about the church. You know the fastest way to get out of depression and upset situations and make your life better? Work in the church. Do something for the church. It's not easy. You don't have to. Nobody's making you. But if you do, it'll change your life. Don't give up on life or overcoming your problems. They don't. But instead they keep working through problems and improving. You're going to fail during your trial. Accept it. You're going to fail. You are going to fail at some point. I am too. But you know what the difference in a survivor and a victim is? They get up when they fail and they keep going. It doesn't get them down. They don't stay in the pit. They don't say it's all over and I'm just going to die here. But they get up the next day when they fail and they fall and they do it all over again. They don't behave like victims. They behave like winners. Whew. Christians should be positive people. Christians should be positive people. Say it out loud with me. Christians should be positive people. We got to be positive about what God's doing. Are you a survivor or are you a victim? It's all a matter of perspective. Isaiah 41 said, Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Amen. Charles Spurgeon, noted theologian, said, I would go to the deeps 100 times to cheer a downcast spirit. It is good for me to have been afflicted, that I might know how to speak a word in season to one that is weary. All right, yes. We got to go from test to testimony. Right? From test to testimony. God's got to take us there. Mark 8:22. The Bible said, and I won't read that, we know the story. The Bible said that there was a blind man, and Jesus laid his hands on him, but he didn't heal him. The Bible said that when Jesus laid his hands on him, he saw men as trees running around. Right? Oh my goodness. How does Jesus touching you not take care of everything the first time, Brother Johnny? I think in my mind, oh my God, how can Jesus touch you and you not be completely whole? To teach us a lesson. Sometimes it does not work out that easily. There was a process he had to go through before he was healed. Some things we see are tests that don't make sense. But God wants to not produce a test in us, but a testimony. So he had to go again. He had to say, wait, I don't see like I'm supposed to yet. The hardship produced character. Woo. The hardship produced character. So if you've been touched by the Master this morning, if you've been touched by him, but you're still not 100%, maybe you're 85%. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Say, Jesus, wait, I don't see like I'm supposed to yet. All right. Look up. The Bible said he looked up. When Jesus said, what do you see? He said, look up. What do you see? The blind man looked up and said, wait, it's not all right yet. We don't get 100% by looking down. We got to look up. Positivity. Our hardship produces character. That we may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. Don't be a victim, be a survivor. We walk by faith. If we walk by sight, it would discourage us. Some have been touched by the power of God, and we're still blurred in our vision. Everything hasn't just worked out yet, but there is purpose in your pit. I came to tell somebody today, you got to keep moving forward. Stand with me all over the house today. I came to tell somebody today that there's purpose in what you're going through. Every eye closed across the sanctuary. I want to read this quickly today. And let this just sink in. This was an unknown author that penned this story I read some time ago. It said a man was sleeping at night in his cabin when suddenly his room filled with light and God appeared. The Lord told the man he had work for him to do and showed him a large rock in front of his cabin. The Lord explained that the man was to push against the rock with all his might. Push against the rock with all your might. That's all he's supposed to do. So this the man did day after day. For many years, he toiled from sunup to sundown. His shoulders set squarely against the cold, massive surface of the unmoving rock. He pushed it with all of his might. Each night, the man returned to his cabin sore and worn out. How frustrating. Feeling that his whole day had been spent in vain. Have you ever been there? God, what am I doing? I'm just pushing. Since the man was showing discouragement, the adversary, Satan the devil, decided to enter the picture by placing thoughts into the weary mind. You've been pushing against that rock for a long time and it hasn't moved, the enemy said. Thus he gave the man the impression that the task was impossible and that he was a failure. These thoughts discouraged and disheartened the man. Satan said, why kill yourself over this? Just put in your time, giving just the minimum effort, and that'll be good enough. Just go to church when you need to. It's okay. You don't have to go to the altar. Just do what you have to do to get by. That's what the weary man planned to do, but decided to make it a matter of prayer and to take his troubled thoughts to the Lord. Well, listen to this. Lord, he said, I have labored long and hard in your service, putting all my strength to do that which you've asked. Yet after all this time, I've not even budged that rock by half a millimeter. God, what's wrong? Why am I failing? The Lord responded compassionately, my friend, when I asked you to serve me and you accepted, I told you that your task was to push against the rock with all of your strength, which you have done. Never once did I mention to you that I expected you to move it. Your task was to push it. Now you come to me with your strength spent, thinking that you have failed. But is that really so? Every eye is closed in the sanctuary. Look at yourself, the Lord said. Your arms are strong and muscular. Your back is sinewy and brown. Your hands are calloused from constant pressure. Your legs have become massive and hard. Through opposition, you have grown much. And your abilities now surpass that which you used to have. True, you haven't moved the rock, but your calling was to be obedient and push, and to exercise your faith and trust my wisdom. That you have done. Now I will move the rock. I need to tell somebody today, you've been pushing. Oh, you've been pushing. You've been pushing and pushing and pushing, and the enemy's been in your ear, and he's been saying, it's not making any difference. It's not going anywhere. But I want you to know that there's purpose in your pit. Keep pushing. You are growing in strength and character, and this altar is open. The hardships and trials that you have faced have made you a spiritual juggernaut. You're ready to step into other things that God has desired for you to see. Don't despise the pit. Joseph saw his brothers and did not kill them or curse them. He loved them and comforted them because he was glad that God had let him go through all of those things to preserve life. There is somebody out there in this room. God gave me this message several weeks ago. I did not know I'd be preaching on this Sunday. But I want you to know As we stand in this congregation, as surely as we are here, there's somebody here who's wanted to give up this week. I know it. I know it. Every eye is closed. Nobody's looking at you. And I would ask if there's a man or a woman today that would be so brave and nobody's looking at you.